So I walked in thinking this was some isekai anime that people were telling me to go check out, and it turns out it's just a reincarnation story, so seemingly not different worlds, just reincarnated into the same one. And for some reason, they went so hard for no reason. The sparring session alone just was Sakuga for days. They kind of bait you with some like 3D camera work that I'm like, okay, this may not have the best production off and on, but that's okay. And then no, they just kept going harder and harder. But the thing that's really shocking about this is, while I don't necessarily have the same level of issues as when people say, oh, here's this adult reborn in this kid's body, and now we're just seeing him go after some titties or some ass, or just being very, like, perverted, right? I'm not really, like, a fan or a hater of it. I'm kind of, like, in the middle more often than not. That's why I'm very much into a Mushoku Tensei, right? But I can't remember the last time I saw a character be reincarnated from an adult to a kid, refuse the titties for breast milk, and get thrown into a bath with all these naked beauties. And you think, oh, that sounds very it's not fan servicey. I don't remember the last time I've seen someone with a single strand of hair cover up nipples. Give this kid the harem of holy grails, and he swims off to go read in a library. Somehow they made this kid surprisingly wholesome, not feel like he's like socially inept, like he can't talk with women because he's nervous. No, it's none of that. He's just fascinated by magic. His love is magic. Guys, girls, that's not his interest. It's magic. Anything with it. He got brutally slaughtered in his first life. He was burning alive, and he was like, damn, this is so cool. I really hope I get to do that in my next life. I'm starting to understand why people were like, telling me to watch this one, but Jesus, man, there's too many freaking anime airing this season, especially on a Monday. But yeah, this one's definitely going in the slot. Full live reaction to the 7th Prince Reincarnated, whatever. I don't know. The titles are too long anymore. This show, over on my Patreon, want to see my full and cut thoughts, they're over there if you're interested. You know, this is like very Looney Tunes level comedy. And what I mean is, one of my favorite things about the animation style is that when you look at most anime, you have character drawn, usually drawn pretty decent, and there's a bit of movements to get them from one location to the other. And if it's a highly action-focused or intense scene, there's more animation. But in general, it's good-looking picture. That's what it is more often than not. This show said, nah. Think of like a Looney Tunes skit. And you know how like Wile E. Coyote's eyes might bulge out of his head looking at the Roadrunner. Or just how expressive the general characters are. Or hell, one thing at one point when we're dealing with the grimoire, when it first pops out of the book, anyone who's seen Disney's Hercules, the animated film, the way Hades will like attack the screen or attack characters when he gets pissed off, that's the animation style it reminded me of. The way these characters are so expressive with such a troll of an MC. Not that he's trying to do it, he just is fascinated by magic. And everything else can be a chore. Not that he's an asshole. Like, his hot maid who's impressed that he can do 2 spells at once, not knowing it's actually 4 spells at once. It's not that he hates her by any stretch of the imagination, he just wants to go back and read in the library, rather than have to do these studies. When he has to take a bath with a bunch of naked beauties who want to sleep in the same bed as him, he's like, I got books to read. It is hilarious because it's like, what if you took mine from Ascendance of a Bookworm, mix in with a Looney Tunes level comedy directing, in what normally would be an isekai but a reincarnation story. What do you get? You get something that's actually fantastic. This actually, the best comparison I can make is anyone who followed me when I was talking about the wrong way to use healing magic in the previous anime season. You know, I very much enjoyed that show. I walked in expecting nothing. The title was stupid. Healing magic just really isn't my big thing, and it really surprised me. I actually feel slightly more surprised than when I left episode 1 of The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. This could be something special. I had a decent number. Like, I was surprised. Like, this was one of my more like, hey, I'm going to watch this and you didn't talk about it in your What Will You Watch video yesterday. And I was like, okay, you know, maybe there's something special. But then again, some of the things people kept talking about were stuff I knew I'd absolutely hate. But, being a reincarnation isekai fantasy trash guy that I am, I can find something to enjoy. But like, I don't need to scrape the bottom of the barrel to find stuff to talk about this season. There's so much that I have to limit myself. So you have to impress me. I'm not gonna just settle for okay or decently fun. No, this is fantastic. Like, in a weird way, it does also give me Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun vibes, in terms of how the cast and just the vibe of that world was. You mix that with a MC with slight similarities to mine from Ascendance of a Bookworm, a Looney Tunes level almost comedic directing with Sakuga for days. Like, they 3D camera works at times, and there was a couple of shots at near the beginning of the episode that were pretty mediocre, but really nothing to complain about, like, unless the entire episode was going to look like that. The sparring session was getting better and better the longer it went on. And then they did something even crazier when the grimoire and him started throwing hands. The kid's psycho. He's not evil, I hope he doesn't sit on the throne because he's the type of guy who would sell his kingdom for ancient magic. Sure, he would be able to probably one-shot anyone who tried to hurt his kingdom, but we would still be forced into a situation we don't necessarily need to because he just likes ancient magic that much. It's really funny. It really is. And it is something that I really can't recall thinking of, because anytime a character gets reincarnated from an adult mindset into a child, the fact that, you know, even as soon as he was a baby, he didn't make no jokes. He didn't say, ooh, titty, I get to breastfeed. He said, no, I don't want this. And it's not because he's scared of women or anything, so they didn't make some incel character or anything like that. No, like, that bath scene is one of the rare cases where what should be a fan servicey scene was handled in such a way that you not only come out to, like, say, I haven't seen a character like Lloyd in some time, but most importantly, they somehow struck a balance where he doesn't feel like he's antisocial or socially inept and can't talk with women or is scared of them. He just wants magic, baby. And that's just funny the more I think of it. It's a legitimate, interesting selling point because you think you know what to expect. If you tell someone, hey, here's this guy who reincarnated as the 7th prince and there's a bunch of women he's in the bath with, everyone knows what to expect. But you actually don't know what to expect if you haven't seen it, because it actually goes in a direction you're not expecting. Then you add in the whole grimoire stuff, which was absolutely comedy gold. This thing thinks he can bide its time and, you know, screw him over. His magic's so dense, his mana's so dense, he can't do shit. He's now basically a personal pet. And that dynamic between Grimm and Lloyd, I can already tell is going to be one of my personal favorites of this season. This seems like it's going to be a hoot. There's probably no other better way to put it. Just going to be a hoot. It's going to be a holler. It's going to be fun. And I don't know, man, like, a lot of it on paper doesn't seem like much, but when you combined all those elements, this was just pure fun. Like, it gave me no red flags. It was just pure fun, and I'm here for more. Let me know what you thought, whether you were excited for this or you checked it out maybe because I made this video. What did you think, and are you going to check out episode 2? Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're under, of course ring the bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on my Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Tanisa Brown, Lord J, Son Westbury, Francisco Vargas, and Michael Cersaby. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Have a good one.